everyone, and welcome to another episode of Touken Rambles Podcast, the podcast dedicated to giving you all the news that you need to know about the Touken Ranbu franchise, from the games, merchandise, stage shows, and the anime series, and even into the real-life swords themselves. I am your host, Marisa, and I am here today with Jesi.
Hey!
It is just the two of us tonight. We still have two out of the country on study abroad trips, and Lexi cannot join us for personal reasons. So it might be a short podcast, but we won't guarantee it, considering we like to ramble a lot. And there was a lot of news this month.
So much news. So bear with us as we get into all of it.
A lot of news added, a lot of news redacted, a lot of news changed. So we'll kind of get into that later on. But first, we're going to start with our community feedback for the month. I don't know if we had any comments. I didn't actually have time to look at that today. Do we have any comments through our social media that you noticed? Or
we haven't really had any comments, but we have had an increase in our Twitter followers. So thank you for following us on there. We also have had several people join us on our Discord, and we welcome you, and we hope you're having fun. We love getting to talk with you guys on there, too. It's a great time. If you're curious about any of that, all of our info is in the description.
Yes. Yeah. And thank you to everyone following us on YouTube. I didn't mean to sound like forceful with like follow us on YouTube, but it shows that my shoddy editing of the YouTube videos is not going to waste for rendering those things. So I'm happy people are watching and continually watching / listening to them. So one of the things that we did and we mentioned last month that we are interested in doing is doing a watch day on a weekend. We decided to go ahead and do that. We did that a couple of weekends ago, and it was a lot of fun. We watched Bakuten. So thank you everyone who came out to that. I know we said that on Twitter, but we can't say it enough. That was a lot of fun despite the small technical difficulties we had at the beginning with trying to get the subs to work or not because of Rabbit not being able to show things that are downloaded on computers, so we couldn't really use VLC to pop up subtitles, so we were forced to stream the non-subbed versions, which we're going to try figuring out some way in the future, because we would love to keep doing these. They were a ton of fun. We got to meet everyone. We had a lot of you guys join us on our Discord to talk. You guys for that. That was fun talking to everyone, and but we're going to figure out some way to have the subtitles included. But
that would be wonderful, because I know a couple of the people, it was their first time watching Bakuten.
Or anything in general.
Or anything Touken in general. And their Japanese isn't to where they can understand it as it's going. Thankfully, visuals and visual cues, you can kind of pick up on at least the drama and the tension of things. But it was quite interesting trying to input into the conversation. Oh yes, this is what's happening. It's kind of a major key point. Please know that this is what they're saying or what's happening. But it was a great community experience, and I'm very excited to be able to do it again. Thank you for everyone who voted on our poll on Twitter to decide on Bakuten. That was a really fun experience too, to watch that. It was my first time doing a poll like that too.
Mm-hmm. Poor Atsukashiyama got no votes.
No votes.
None. It was a close for a while it was kind of neck and neck between Bakuten and Honoji. So it was like, are we gonna watch stage or are we gonna watch a musical? So Bakuten it is. I would love to do it next this coming month as well. We'll probably do another voting for that. We will see. I would love to do that and continue to watch them with you guys as well. Kind of get those
Yes.
who don't have access to them or have no prior knowledge into them can watch them as well. So I think that's
That's one
everything.
of the reasons why I wanted to do the stage play, because I voted for the stage play.
Maki.
Because I wanted it to get more love. Maki is the actor of the decade, okay? He deserves all of the love, and all of these actors are precious and fantastic and astounding even. So they deserve recognition and appreciation for what they do. Yes.
All right. I think that's everything that we have for community feedback this month. So just keep sending your love our way with likes, comments, what have you. If you make a comment, we will probably talk about it next time on the podcast. So, yep. So we're gonna start kind of moving into the game as we usually do. So uh, there are a lot of updates. So let's start first with the big thing that dropped right at around the beginning of the month. Was Regiment Battle Early Summer Camp. It came a lot earlier than I think a lot of us expected. It came out on Thursday when most maintenance events happen on a Tuesday. So this is a usual regiment event. If you have if you guys had Hototogisu on your team, it increased the fireflies you obtain by 1.5, and you could get Chiyoganemaru, which we mentioned last time. Sohei no Tsurugi was also obtainable. Hototogisu and Okanahira was a drop. 4 Kiwame sets, and of course the event just ended a couple of days ago. I was a crazy person, if you guys recall, who said, I am going to get Chiyo-pyo-chan before I go on my family reunion trip to Arkansas. And guess who did it? Me! I wasted so much Koban and so much time getting Chiyo-pyo, and then they extended the event by like an extra week because of maintenance issues. Actually, it should have ended July 24th, but it ended like a couple of days ago. My bad. Or did. Or did it not?
It ended the 26th.
It ended yesterday.
It ended Thursday.
That was it. I didn't update that. But it got extended because they were having issues with Pocket. When are they not having issues with Pocket?
When are they not having issues with maintenance in general?
It's a big game, and you forget one little tiny thing, and it just upsets the balance of the coding. But I got
Send up
Chiyo-pyo.
a word of thanks to the workers for Nitro and DMM for all that they are doing for Touken Rambu and all of your mobile games on browser games.
I will say they are pretty quick on the draw when it comes to whenever there's some kind of glitch. They're like, oh, figures it out immediately, goes into fixes it. Couple days later, maintenance done, it's fixed. So congrats to them on usually being pretty quick instead of extending it, because I know there's still multiple glitches when it comes to Reinhardt and Overwatch, and it is a game changer. Blizzard, get on it. I'm sorry. Reinhardt's Earth Shattered has glitches a lot, so poor Reinhardt glitches. The program doesn't like Reinhardt, but Touken's a lot quicker, and also it's kind of an easier, smaller game. It requires less, but so we had that, which spanned pretty much this entire month. It took me a little while to get that last Kiwame set, because once I hit Chiyo-pyo, I was using the basic 3-day 6 passes every single day, and I didn't spend Koban. I did sometimes when there was Mirare mode popped up, and that was about it. And I just let it be. So all that tasty TXP went to my Kiwi. Tontos. And that was kind of my regiment. My regiment was a fast start and then a really slow lean back.
Yeah. So I guess I'll talk about my regiment. My goal was Chiyo, and I have never gotten to 100,000 of any of the collection things.
Oh yeah, you still
But
have
I made it
Kogiri
this
too.
time. I was really excited. For Kotagiri, I made it to 80,000, and I could have made it
Oh yeah,
to 100,000. No, I made it to 60,000. I was 20 less because
that was it.
Kotagiri was 80,000. But stupid time mess and yeah. Anyway, for TOPO, I actually did make it to 100,000, and I was really worried because I was running out of Koban. I think I got down to 1,000.
Oh goodness.
Um,
I still have
yeah, I was
150,000
determined.
Koban.
We're not all like you.
I've done a lot of UTC events, so
I just like Hakana's still in the 60s for me, so he's trying to bring home Koban, but it's a slow process. But they my boys did it. They did it. They did it excellently. I have two teams that would run E4 for me. I was so focused on the firefly drops that I didn't really focus on leveling boys, which is what I used the last weekish of the event for. I ended up switching out a good portion of my first unit for not yet 99 swords. I think the lowest level I had on that team was 80, not including Kiwi Kiyo, because as soon as Kiwame Kiyomitsu came home, he was my captain and forever will be until I need to change him for something. But he is now level 37 and he is happy, and I am happy because
that
of
is.
this event.
I managed to get most of my Kiwi Tontos to level 40 through this event, except Sada, um, Furo, Imano Tsurugi, and Shinano. Only 4 of them are under level 40.
I
Yeah.
forget what level I have Fudo at, but I think he's 40. I think he's 41 now.
And then I got my my OP Kiwi Tonto team to level 55. So
Yeah.
they're a little over
But
halfway to max
this
level.
event was not just for me though, because as soon as we had the release of the image for Geo, Sarah was like, I need him.
Oh yeah, you're running for her too.
So I was running passes for Sarah and myself. I would have my game running on my phone, and then I'd have Sarah's up on the computer, and it was a grand old time watching our teams go at the same time. It's really funny because we both had Fudo on our team, and he likes to awaken a lot at the same time. I
That's
just thought it
ironic.
was really interesting. Yeah, but she ended up getting Chiyo last week as well. She worked her butt off a couple days, like because I would log on and she'd have like I think she had 60,000 one day, and the next day I log in and she's up to 85.
Dang.
I was like, "What did you do?" She's like, I played." Like,
She had
I
time
see
to.
that. I see that. Okay. Um, but she got him home, and she also got Juzu. Finally, Juzu came home. I can't remember
She
if that was.
did. I'm so
She
happy.
did. She did because I smithed him for her.
Oh yeah, you did.
I did. she
Oh,
she and
we'll
her
talk about
Smith
that.
have fun issues, so that we'll get to in a bit. But for this event, I know she was trying to see how far she could get, but Chia was the main goal for that too. As far as Lexi, she wanted me to share with you all that she made it to 12,400 plus not beats, fireflies. She did not bring home Chio Pio, but she did work really hard.
She was having fun running her Idol Boy games because I think what was it, two of them or a handful of them dropped 3-year anniversaries at about the same time. So she was running those like crazy. And yes, Touken Ranbu has gotcha elements, and you could consider it a gotcha game, but it's not as gotcha as idle games. So
Oh, that is the truth. That is so much the truth. That's a whole different rant. Um,
it's
but yeah,
special.
so she made it to 12,400 beat Fireflies.
So congrats on her
And
getting whatever she wanted from her idle games. So GOP
I
will come around
did think
again.
several of her children came home, so
They did.
that's
But
good.
so since you kind of segued into talking about smithing Juzumaru, it's like you're thinking if you didn't hear anything about the updates, how do you smith Juzumaru? Well, they just released the biggest bomb ever and made all of the really old Saniwa, like myself, partially cry. So about a week or so into the event, I try to remember, was I back from Arkansas, I think at the time? No, it was right in the middle. I was smithing things while I was in Arkansas. I was in like a dead zone and I was managing Wi-Fi, like cell reception out there. But they released a big swath. So there was a good amount of new swords added to the smithing pool, which includes Juzumaru, Goto, Shinano, Hakata, Hocho, Akashi, Sengo, Monoyoshi, Taikogane, or Sada-chan, Kikko, Koryu, Higekiri, Hizamaru, Fudo, Kogurasumaru, Nihongo, Tomoe, Mori, Kenshin, Azuki, and Shizuka were all added to the smithing pool. But not only that, sword drops also changed on the frontline maps. And we'll talk about this in a bit, but the swords that got added were Kotegiri, Goto, Shinano, Hakata, Hojo, Fudo. Hizamaru and Higekiri are now regular drops as well as Kebishi drops. Kogurasumaru, Hiko, Tomoe, Nagasone, Urashima, Okanehira, Odenta, Monoyoshi, Sohei no Tsurugi, and Sengo. So a lot of these newer event swords got added in. Other swords that had drops, like Kiko and Monoyoshi, also got added to other maps. Nagasone and Urashima are no longer just smithable only. They are droppable, and a handful of swords got shifted drastically. If you are running, like I currently am now, trying to level swords up, Era 4 doesn't drop Uchigatanas as much. Era 5 will drop all of the Uchigatanas. And all the Tachis got shoved to Era 6 and 7 because they are getting ready for Rambu levels. We'll talk about in a bit. But thanks to all of this, it made a lot more swords that were recently very hard and unobtainable to be obtainable much more easily instead of having to wait for events or try as you might to smith mustard tips and turtle baby. But as a small addendum, at the beginning when they implemented all of this, for some reason, Nagasone was a 1 hour and 30-minute timer like other Uchigatanas at his rarity, and Kenshin was a 20-minute timer. That was a bug. They have fixed it. Nagasone is back to being it's a 3-hour timer, correct?
Yes.
Yes, he's back to being a 3-hour timer like he was, and Kenshin is now a 30-minute timer like Hirano and Atsushi. So, and for that, they gave us, oh, and also with this, they gave us 30 extra sword spaces.
Swords that are not on the list that you just said that are also available in the drop. Hirano and Atsushi also drop now.
They always have.
I didn't think so.
Yeah, they
Okay.
do.
Never mind.
They were very node specific, but they did drop.
Okay.
It's just Hirano and Atsushi are actually a little easier to smith than they are to drop. Because there are only a couple of nodes that they actually did drop on, but
Never mind.
yeah, no, it's fine. They just don't drop very frequently. But when this happened, I was like, oh my gosh, I only have 3 swords that I haven't achieved yet. And all 3 of them are available for smithing. Here comes the struggle. I had over 100,000 plus in resources on all of them. We are not talking about my coolant. That coolant level is dumb. It has over 200,000. We don't talk about that. I will never run out of coolant. I will never run out of coolant. So I was like, okay, I'm going to try getting Kenshin first. It's gonna be easy. I managed to get Kenshin with the 20-minute timer. This is before they did the bug fix. I wasted a lot of smithing tokens to get him. So I was just, this is the funny thing. So I smith and I got 5 Moris before I got Kenshin. 5 Moris. I don't want to see Lettuce Child ever again because he is terrible. I was like, you made me struggle so much, and yet here you are, showing up continuously. Thanks. But I kept smithing and smithing. I made a list of, I didn't keep it, I got rid of it, but I had more of the other previous event swords before I even got Kenshin. And I set up smiths when I went to work. And I got off on lunch break and was like, oh, they're all ready. So I click on one. It's Midare. I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm just eating mac and cheese. And I click on the next one and I look down and I'm like, there he is. I freaked out because usually you just kind of tap at things and you're like, it's the same sword. I've seen it 50 bazillion times. It doesn't really register in your mind. Sitting on the arm of the comfy chair in the hub, and I look down and there's Kenshin. And I'm like, I grab my phone, stare at it, kind of squeeze my phone and shake, and I'm looking around at him. There's people in the hub eating lunch, and I'm just like, I can't. I stand up, I run around in a circle, and I was like, I'm internally fangirling, and everyone's looking at me like, what just happened? I like drop my phone on the table, and I'm like, I got him. None of y'all understand this, but I got him. Woo! I had to take off my head. I was like, there he is. There's my boy. I have since fallen in love with Kenshin. He is precious and adorable. I eventually, I'm not supposed to use my phone at work, but it was really dead. So I had my phone underneath my computer at work, and I'm just tapping, and I had a ton of Ofuda built up from events. I don't use Ofuda. And I wasn't using it for Kenshin. I was like, I'm not wasting it on a Tonto. No. So as soon as I use an Ofuda, I get like a regular timer, and then I get like a 3 hours and 20 minutes? Which one's Koryu again?
I think 320.
I think it's 320. Because I was then going to go for Koryu and Shizuka, because I could use the same recipe, because they were the last 2. And I tap on it. Second sword since Kenshin, because Kenshin, I had him as my secretary, because I was awakening him, and I kind of forgot I did. Kind of happy I did, because he brought his brother home very quickly. I was like, thank you, useless toilet paper. Turtle toilet paper, you brought Koryu home.
Cody was a good boy.
He's
a great boy.
I didn't have too many resources after the 2 of them. I didn't waste too much from Kenshin, but I wasted a handful. I wasted all of my whetstone. And I have still yet to get Shizuka. And guess who just got Shizuka? Jesi!
Hi!
I hate you.
So, nice segue there. So my smithing event was a rather fun event. It's not an event. It's just smithing adventures.
Smithing struggle.
Smithing struggles, all the smithing struggles. I was so excited because I was like, I don't have Mori. I can now smith Mori. I don't have Monoyoshi or Kiko or who was it? Koga or Kenshin or Adzuki or Shizuka or Akashi. And I was just really, really happy. So I was like, okay, great. I will try for Kenshin for a bit. And so I just started smithing some Tontos, and I ended up getting Mori first. I was like, sweet, okay. Also smithed like 3 different Sadachan and like 5 Fudo, and I'm just like, I don't need you guys anymore, but okay. All of the Toshio children also came home. So then I ended up switching recipes, and I wasn't exactly smart because you can smith them just as fine with this.
All
What was
50.
it? 5677 or something like that. I forget what I'm actually using at the moment, but it's something along those lines. But I used all 900 for a while.
Yeah, because I'm using 55, 55, 75, 75 right now.
No, I'm using
Or
maybe it's 6577.
usually
But
it's a variation of like 65, 65, 75, 75, or 55, 55. But you kind of can change it up depending. But
yeah.
eh,
But I also
recipes.
brought home like 4 Juzus,
Oh my gosh.
5 Mikas. I think I brought home like 3 Adzukis. At least. No, I brought home more than that. Sarah will attest to that. I brought home more than that because every time I got one, I'd be like, Sarah, you came home again, and she'd get really mad because she really wanted Adzuki.
Haha.
Yeah, but
Good boy.
my lovely little Osafune family, the Osa family, is growing, and now it only needs Adzuki. No, Kenshin. Wow.
Oh, you still need
Yeah.
Kenshin?
I still need Kenshin, but I am out of smithing tokens, so now I'm like, okay, every day I can get like 3, 4 at a time. Because
Goodness.
I have a really hard time running expeditions. I don't know why. I just get distracted and then I forget they're out. So yeah, that happens. But currently I'm still trying for Akashi, and I had switched timers because I also found that that timer had the potential to bring home Naginatas too. I was like, okay, great. I need Shizuka. So today I'm just running the usual things, watching the timers that go from 1:30, the obnoxious 1:30 hell, to 3 hours, which are almost always Shokudai or Tsuru for me, or Dodonuki, those 3. And then I got a 5-hour timer today, and I was very excited, but I was like, oh, great. Okay, so are you going to be Tomoe or are you going to be with Toshi? Because I already have both of you, and Toshi's at 99, and Tomoe's working in the 50s somewhere. And lo and behold, Cold Tummy Sun came home. I did not expect that, and I was very excited. And poor Marissa and poor Sarah still do not have this Naginata, and I'm very excited because I got one first. That hasn't happened. I haven't I
Yeah,
haven't done that.
I'm taking a break from. Well, I did try to smith just right now because I was like, because I took a break after my because I don't like to get below like 60 or 50,000. It just kind of irks me, kind of weirds me out. Uh, but since the event was token related, I was like, okay, I don't need to worry about needing to repair them. And then I've been running nothing but since then I've been running nothing but expeditions that'll give me way the most amount of whetstone that I can. For some odd reason, a lot of the whetstone expeditions they're way too long or they're way too short, and I can't do that when I'm at work. So I have to kind of pick and choose. So they are currently running. I got back up to 50,000 within probably a week or two of just running these expeditions over and over again. And I just tried to smith now because I was like, maybe I had the luck on my side since I haven't tried to smith Shizuka as like my what do we call it on the wiki for Discord? It's the desire meter. Your desire meter isn't as high. I was just like, whatever. I managed to smith Mika. I was like, hi Mika, welcome home. Locks your Farambu levels later. Um, and then I got a regular 3 hour and then Uchigatana. So I'm just gonna let them run and we'll deal with those later, but I'm gonna try getting my resources back up before I try to smith Shizuka again. So desire meter isn't as strong, so maybe I'll get him, but I guess I'm overcompensating with my desire meter by being like, eh. But my desire meter wasn't actually strong for Kenshin because I was just throwing them down as per usual instead of trying to use smithing tokens over and over again. So maybe if I just do that for Shizuka and just let the smiths run and not waste help tokens, he'll show up. But we will
Yeah.
see. Pierre does not like me. For those of you who don't know, Pierre is the smithing guy. That's the little smith dude. That's what we've named him. His name is Pierre. He is the true
Pierre?
enemy of this game. Yes, his name is Pierre. According to
Pierre.
the fandom, his name is Pierre.
I want you to know Piero in Japanese is clown.
Yep. I don't know
So
why
he's
his
just
name's
clowning.
Pierre.
Pierre. That's
Pierre.
okay.
Yep.
All right.
We call him Pierre. And he is the true enemy of this game. It is not the History Retrograde Army or the Kebishi. It is Pierre.
It is
Pierre is
Pierre.
our true enemy. But I know a lot of people were very upset by this because a lot of these swords were event only or smithing only. So a lot of the struggle that a lot of people went through, it's like, well, did it go down the drain? I'm gonna say no. It just meant that you got the sword before everyone. You were able to focus on other things. And it also means like myself, because I got Kiko from an event and not from running 7-3, like Shadow over there, who has about like probably I think 5 or 7 Kikos at this point, and by just running 7-3, which is hard. 7-3 is probably the hardest map. 7-4 is not hard because you can easily run long. 7-3 is the worst. But
7-4 is not hard. Sarah is rolling in grease.
but 7-3 I find it's worse. But I got Kiko earlier, so I was able to level him up faster, and now he is Kiwame, and I didn't have to waste resources on other things. So it just depends on how you look at it. A lot of people initially I was like in super shock, but at the same time it's like eventually you're gonna have to do this with the game, especially with them expanding their sword roster so much so quickly. Eventually
Yeah.
those newer swords have to get implemented in the game some other way besides a smithing event or an event. And still a lot of these swords like Okanehira, Odenta, Sohana Tsurugi only drop on boss nodes.
No.
Because I know for a fact, I think
They
either
drop on regular nodes, actually.
I know that Nagasone only drops on the boss node for 7-4 along with Nihongo.
Nagasone?
I think so, if I'm correct. I don't know. I'm trying to remember.
I made a spreadsheet
Yeah, Jesse has a
with
spreadsheet.
I was really excited, and I was like, these are a lot of names, and I can't keep this straight, and I don't want to refer back to this all the time. So I made a spreadsheet, and Odenta, Okanehira, and someone else. They are regular drops on 7-3.
Okay,
You will not get them on a boss node.
that was it. All right.
Odenta, Okanehira, Monoyoshi,
Kiko's still the
and
boss.
Kogurasumaru, and Kotagiri. Those are regular node drops,
But
not boss node drops.
from what I've heard from people, the percentage of dropping on those is very low.
Indeed. So
But
while they are there, the rate's really, really, really low.
So they're there. It's just have fun. I know I looked the other day because I didn't have the spreadsheet and I just went on the Touken wiki. They have not completely filled out all of the current updates on there, but I know they are definitely working on it because that's a lot. That's a lot to do because they have the actual little thumbnail pictures of them up with everything. So for like every single node, pretty much possible. So they have a lot of editing to do, but that will get updated probably soon. And for those of you who are interested. But a lot of our the drop rates have changed, and some of the drop rates have changed. So kind of moving on. With
one
the,
more thing, real quick on
yes.
the smithing, because Alexi wanted me to share this with y'all too, because of her struggle with bringing mustard tips home that she loves to rave about. She wanted to say that Mustard Tips now loves her dearly and has come home plenty of times, and he can stop. But she also got Koryu, Juzu, and Jirotachi, and she's very, very happy with those.
Yay.
Okay.
All right. So the reason that they implemented this massive change, I kind of put this later on in our notes, but it's a good segue, is because very soon, probably maybe by the time this podcast goes out, or it might be a little bit after, we will be getting implemented what is called Rambu levels. We are not completely certain as to what these are, but what we do know is that it's going to be a separate system that is different from normal sword levels, and different from the refining. Also, with that, we're going to get a new refinery system, so we'll see whatever that means. But increasing your Rambu level will unlock new lines that will uncover new sides of the swords. So, and training will be implemented alongside these Rambu levels, and training works by combining multiple same swords, and it's going to be accessed by the refinery panel, so that might be the new change to the refining. Obviously, more details will be released later, and it's going to be, end of August, unless I think they might have pushed it forward. But it'll be released sometime in August.
I think
So
it's a dual thing. So part of it may come earlier, and then
yeah,
the training part, I think, will come at the end of August.
so I thought
But
they mentioned something
stay
about.
tuned.
Stay tuned for more information about that.
Yeah.
I think everyone was confused. We're like, is this going to be like where you combine duplicates of swords to boost them somehow? I'm kind of hoping it's more of just fun little unlocks and not really necessary for increasing sword levels, but or sword potential. We'll say that instead of sword levels because it's different from regular level 1 through 99.
Yeah.
So we'll see a little bit more. So because of I was a dum dum and didn't save a ton of things, but I'll get some of them back eventually. During
So you're
my
talking
stint,
to the one who got rid of like all of the bonus Juzus and
yeah,
Atsukis and even Koryu, and yeah, they're all gone. They're all gone.
but after I was thinking about it, because there was a massive increase in sword space, I was like, I'm gonna keep duplicates of some of the swords from now on that are going to be very difficult to obtain. Not all of them, just very difficult to obtain through normal means, be it dropping on levels or smithing. So I have one Mika, 4 Iwatoshis. You can see my struggle with Naginatas. I have an Atsushi, because Atsushi doesn't drop very often. I have one Okanehira, even though I got a lot from this event. One Akashi. Sorry, Jesse. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Hmm.
4 Sengos. Sengo just wanted to show up and rub it in my face that I need to love him more, and I'm like, nah, I like you, Sengo. You're just not my favorite. I got a Kiko. I have 2 Koryus, 2 Nagasones. I might get rid of these Higekiris and Hizamarus because I got like 5 of them. Because they actually drop a lot more frequently than I thought now. I have 4 Tomoes and I have an Azuki. So trying to store them up to see because they might be difficult to obtain later on down the line, and I have no idea. But we will see. It's going to add a completely new element to the game, which I will say the game kind of needs, because right now, when there's no events going on, it's a bit stale, especially for someone who has a lot. The game is very stale when it comes to trying to run the maps normally once you've essentially cleared all of them. So, do you have anything to say about the Ramu levels, or?
I'm intrigued to see where it goes. Like you said, I hope it's not something that's mandatory for the swords, because that's going to be really obnoxious. I hope it's just an added bonus, like, oh, hey, look, you can actually make them even stronger, but you don't really need to just enjoy the game.
Yeah,
We'll see.
that's what we're a little worried about.
Because I recently fell down an idle hole. I blame Alexi and Sarah for this, actually. But
Retro.
I have climbed out of Udapri Hill, so that's fine. But that system is in there. If you don't know what that is, then don't worry about it. But that's one of the reasons why I'm a little hesitant to be excited about this, because it's more obnoxious than anything.
Yep. So hopefully they'll give us a little bit more information on that. They have been postponing a handful of things, so we'll see if it actually goes into place. We'll talk about that in a bit. But right now, they kind of in the middle of the event, they implemented kind of I'll call it a campaign in a way. It's probably closer to a campaign since it's gonna be lasting for a while. Is the Solar Term Background series. So you are going to exchange for the Solar Term Autumn's Beginning Sunflower background by collecting harvest items through certain ways throughout the game. So you can get tomatoes and oriental melons from internal affairs only, and sunflowers and seafood from frontlines and expedition. So for those of you who are still trying to somehow get sunflowers and seafood, because I kind of got those were like the quickest, because you get them from both frontlines and basic expeditions. It is possible to obtain those items from reaching resource nodes and frontlines, even if your party exceeds level limitation. Because usually, if you go to a resource node on like a map where your swords are way too high, it'll say, yeah, you're not going to get any resources, but you'll still collect those. And great success of an expedition will double the harvest gain, and only one item can be obtained from each of the selected maps on frontlines and expeditions. So you do have a limit to what you can get. Yeah, per day. Yeah. Once it resets, you can get it again. But so about internal affairs, there was a big kind of temporary change, we'll say. So you can obtain white konpeito from during sparring in internal affairs, and you can eventually, if you want to, you can exchange one of each seasonal item all together. So one tomato, one melon, one sunflower, and one fish to exchange and get konpeito. But I would not do that until the end. But the konpeito grants 500 EXP to a sword it's used on. So it's not the best thing in the entire world, but I've been kind of stock feeding Kenshin for it because poor little Tonto, very squishy baby. So I've been
feed the baby Osafune all the snacks. Like, just imagining Shokudakiri. Here, eat this. Become strong. Grow up big and strong.
Oh my god. And you'll gain fertilizer from going to fieldwork. And there's a special fertilizer you can buy from the shop. So the fertilizer will guarantee a harvest of 3 or more vegetables from fieldwork. I think that might be just a special one, but I can't really remember. But you guarantee more vegetables if you have the compost gained from the horse. Oh my gosh, horsekeeping. That's it. From the horsekeeping, or from the shop, you're gonna gain a little more tomatoes and oriental melon from that instead. So that'll make getting the 35 tomatoes and the 35 melons a little quicker, but it still's going to take you a while because, of course, internal affairs takes 24 hours for them to return home. Though, luckily, do not fret. The event will run until October 9th. You have a very, very, very long time to do this event, to this little campaign. Though they did say the ending time is subject to change, so it could get extended. And it is actually expected to reoccur in the future. So we'll see what effects with that. Also, a small note, I wasn't certain if you could hoard the harvest items for the possible next time that they do the event, but as soon as, not event, campaign, we're going to say campaign, as soon as this campaign ends and maintenance goes through, they will be deleted. So make sure that if you have extras of tomatoes and melons and stuff, by sending your swords out to field work, because that's the only reason you're sending your swords out to internal affairs, is to upgrade, to boost their HP and their scouting. Well, actually more their HP. Their scouting is just a bonus. You're gonna get some extra stuff. So make sure that you transfer in as much to get the completo and spend it, so you're not wasting the stuff that you have by the end of it. I am very close to getting that darn background. I am 35, not 35, I am 5 tomatoes away, which means probably at least 2 more days.
5
I have to wait.
tomatoes.
5 tomatoes.
5
Stupid tomatoes. I'm using the compost too.
I am like 12 tomatoes, 10 tomatoes.
Not bad.
Yeah, I'm not too far out.
I was afraid when I heard all this. I was like, oh no, this is going to take so long. The compost helps. So make sure when you send your swords out to internal affairs, because I usually just send 2 Kiwi Tonto out to field work, because what's the point of doing the horse keeping and the sparring? Like, what's the point? You can max those stats out in regular fighting. Like, why am I doing this? Go ahead and send them out. You might as well, because you're guaranteed compost, and there's a chance of getting completo. So, might as well get 50,000 EXP every 24 hours or so, and just feed it to your weaker swords. Like a rare candy. Feed your swords.
Feed your swords.
Mm-hmm. The background's cute, though.
Yeah, it's an interesting.
Mm-hmm. So you'll see. This is an interesting campaign, to be quite frank and honest. But it helped me be like, oh, there's still stuff going on in Touken Ranbu, and I'm not doing nothing now that I'm done with Regiment, but yep. Another thing that we recently got, there was not as big of a gap as I thought. Granted, Kashu came pretty late into June. We got Kasen only like a couple of weeks after Kashu. So Kasen Kanesada finally got his Kiwame. I love him. He's pretty.
He's the butterfly prince.
Him and Squishy Pink
Soza.
Child. Soza, yeah. Him and Soza are butterfly
Squishy
buddies.
Pink Child.
They're the butterfly princes over there. So I'm very happy about his design. He's still part of the flowy Cape
Quartet.
children. Flowy Cape Quartet. Yeah, the Flowy Quartet, or whatever Alexi likes to call them.
This is why we need them to come back, because we forget the names.
Alexi has some weird and hilarious names. A lot of stuff that just makes me laugh hysterically. I can't
Between
not
the
call
two of
Nagasone
them,
mustard tips anymore.
3 of them, we need Smallback too.
Yes.
They all have like such wonderful nicknames for them, and like so Soza is the squishy noodle.
Yep. Squishy noodle.
So squishy noodle. I can't.
But,
I don't even know.
so we have Kasen. So guess who's next in August?
Mamba-chan.
Finally,
Cloak guy.
Cloak baby.
Cloak man.
Or will he?
He
Will he have his
better
cloak?
be. Well, okay, so
Or is he gonna? Or is he
I
gonna
need
pull
him
a
to come home.
Zoku? Is he gonna pull a Zoku and not have his hood?
I mean, technically, he has his hood still. It's just around his neck and not over his head.
Is he gonna take it off?
Is
Or
he?
is he not gonna?
Is he?
Or is it gonna be a pretty cape? We will never know.
Come back with the banana cape from season 1.
Please.
Give it a really ridiculous pattern. But no, my beautiful child needs to accept that he is beautiful and come home and feel love.
Mm-hmm.
And I am very excited. Yes.
Yep. We will have all the Uchigatanas as Kiwame and all the starters. So we will probably be seeing teasers for him probably around week 2 of August, I'll probably say. Or
I
he
want
might
to say
be
about the second.
Yeah. I
It's
have a feeling
hard to say.
he's probably gonna get implemented before Rambu. That's all I'm saying. But
Yeah,
we'll see.
probably.
We'll see. Depends on how much longer the artist has and whatnot. But he will be coming within the month. Bamba-chan.
Mamba-chan!
So
Great boy.
yes. Obviously we mentioned this before, but Regiment was extended this week because of update problems. And so we're gonna talk about some of the upcoming events because we had a lot of changes, redactions, movements. It was a bit of an up and down when it came to me trying to update these darn show notes. So we were saying before, like the past 2 months, we were notified. Kind of DMM likes to give us, Nitro likes to give us a kind of like about a 3-month out schedule of possible events, sword releases, Kiwame, yada yada yada. After Regiment was supposed to be a brand new event. Well, due to reasons which we have no idea why, the new event was postponed until further notice, whatever that means, and will be replaced with Edo Castle Infiltration Investigation 4. So you'll have once again another chance to get Nansen. So for those of you who did not get Nansen back in about May, right?
That was...
It was about May. You'll now have time to get Nyansen Ichimoji.
Onji!
So another pass event. Come on, we need a UTC. I need Koban. If you want me to keep playing this darn game, I need some Koban, guys. But that will be replacing it. As I said before, we're gonna get Yamamagiri sometime in August. And Village of Treasures 9 will still be a go at about the end of August, probably around the time that Rambu Levels gets implemented. However, the implementation of a new sword has also been postponed. So whatever new sword that was supposed to be released during that time will have to be coming in at a later date. And they did confirm that we'll be getting background music for Honebami, Monoyoshi, and Namazuo. So we'll finish out the Wakizashis. Besides
My
Kotigiri.
Waki boys.
I don't know if we'll get Kotigiri. We might not. Like what they've been doing, the background music, they've kind of done with the Kiwames, and they've been making sure that the older swords are getting stuff first before the newer swords eventually do. So, and then probably the next Village of Treasures that we will get in the future, finally get Tonto music. That'll be fun. You mentioned Rambu
I'm
levels.
curious. Who keeps Tontos as captains?
Hi.
Like,
Henshin's my captain right now for leveling reasons.
for leveling reasons, yeah, but like, I don't know. You can keep him as a captain as a of a different unit and still use it for leveling reasons.
I use
I just
unit
I don't
2,
know
3,
many
and
people
4
with
for expeditions.
this.
Unit 1 is leveling only. I do not send team 2, 3, and 4 ever out to maps. So,
That's unfortunate.
yep, I sent all 3 teams out to expeditions to maximize the amount of pain.
All of mine have uses on the front lines because all of them still need levels in different map areas.
Most of my teams are now composed of Kiwames because I used to have way back when I used to throw a lot of the lower level swords onto expedition teams to at least kind of get them some EXP while I was leveling up my main team or using my main team for events. But then I got to a point where I was like, oh, I don't have a non-Kiwame sword on these teams at all. Or I'm having to use level 99 swords for because of the expedition specifications. Like a lot of them are like, hey, you need an Odachi. All my Odachis are level 99. Hey, you need a Tachi. All of my Tachis are level 99 that I'm not leveling. So,
Yeah.
whoops. Yeah, but I want to. That's why I have so many resources, Jesse. Because I use
It makes sense. It
one
makes
team.
sense.
One team does everything. The other 3 just run the same darn expeditions every single day. But that's about it for when it comes to recent stuff in game. Is there anything else that we really haven't talked about? We've mentioned
Lord,
there's a
there was
lot.
so much. I think that's it in game.
Hopefully that all made sense to you guys.
Yeah, if it didn't, please comment or just engage with us and be like, what did you mean by this?
It's a lot. I understand. I
Or
had
if we
to.
missed something, feel free to put that out there too. Be like, hey,
Yes.
you didn't mention this. Because there's a chance that other people don't know about it either.
True, true. All right. So it's going to cover just a little bit of the merchandise news that we have. We've had, compared to the last couple of months where we got so much information on releases, eventual figures, and stuff like that, we haven't had much. The only news that I can say when it comes to figures that I am knowledgeable about is the Kane-san scale figure from Good Smile. The release date has changed because I have pre-ordered it and Amy let me know. It is now going to be released in August. So be coming home in September. I think it would be beautiful. I'm so happy. But that's the only figure news I can really think of. The Sumonodomo album is now available for purchase on the iTunes Store and Google Play Music, and it's also on Spotify as well.
It's a
Jesse,
fantastic album. I've had it kind of on repeat for the past couple days.
and what is this other thing that you mentioned?
Oh, Hiden
Oh, Hiden.
OST. So Hiden is the 4th stage play, and we just got news that the soundtrack for that, including the opening and ending songs, is set for an October release. Stay tuned for news on the Blu-ray and DVD that will.
Yep. And we'll eventually review that one when the crew is back.
When the crew is back.
Should we do Hiden first, or are we gonna do what is it? Hibiki? Is that the other one? That's the same musical, correct?
Musubi.
Musubi.
Mu 5.
Yep, you 5. You guys decide which one should we review first. I think Hiden came actually first before Musubi. I remember.
Musubi came out. Musubi finished out in May.
That
Hiden
was
is
it.
finishing out on Sunday.
Okay, so it was after. We will figure it out. So Hiden won't. Okay, so Hiden won't be on DMM for a while. So
yeah.
probably.
So we'll
I'm
probably
not,
get to Musical 5 first, and maybe we'll do a Gaiden review before we get to Hiden.
Oh
We'll
yeah, we
see.
still have Gaiden. Goodness, we have a lot that we're eventually gonna have to review, and August and September are crazy for me. So, like, we'll figure something out for
We'll
you
figure
guys.
it out.
We will figure
We'll
it out.
figure it out. Because we
Yes.
got to work out with the others, because we need them to be there for that, too.
We don't want this to be just us two.
We got to get everyone back.
We need to
Just
come
us
home.
two reviewing. I know, soon. Okay.
All right. So, on the topic of the stage and musicals, we have some news, and I'll send that to Jesi.
Okay, so speaking of Hiden, moving into live action stuff, go ahead and talk about Hiden. So Hiden is stage 4. It has been going for a month over. Wow, it's like nearing on 2 months since it started. Like its tour. It started when the first day of its tour was the last time we recorded.
Yep.
And they've had performances in several different places across Japan. Unfortunately, one of them had to be canceled, so they were not able to perform in Kyushu this time because of a typhoon. I've probably seen news of that typhoon kind of hit everywhere.
It did? I didn't even hear about that.
That was the one that
the
really
flooding
affected my area too, with all the flooding.
Okay, I'm just gonna
Yeah.
make mention of this. I don't watch local news that often, but I watch try watching some of the ABC Nightly News with David Muir, that show, and they talk about a lot of international stuff, and they talk about domestic stuff, and they did not once talk about the typhoon that hit and flooded Japan. They were so focused on the boys soccer team that got stuck in the cave, and I'm like, Japan's over there flooding, and all I heard was it from you, and I was like, or the California fires, and I'm like, guys, there's Japan's like eternal rice paddies right now. Like the entirety of Japan is flooded. I'm like, that's really weird.
Not
I
the
heard
entirety,
nothing,
but
a lot of it.
Very good portion of Japan was flooded, landslides.
A lot of the western half of
heavy
Japan
rain.
was.
Yeah, so Kyushu is kind of hit really hard, and they called off that performance. All of the actors are fine. They got home okay too, which is great. Their families are fine. That happened a few weeks ago, and then soon after they had an event in China for Hiden, where they actually streamed one of the performances, or showed one of the performances, and Haruki, who is Mikazuki's actor, and Mitsuya, Honebami's actor, did a talk show afterwards. So that was pretty nifty that they did that. They've also got the live viewing coming up 29th, which is tomorrow here, assuming that everything is okay with the typhoon that's coming in tonight. So they're pushing on, or they're about to announce news on tonight's performance, I think, because it's gonna hit higher up than the last typhoon did. So that's fun. Hopefully everything's going to be okay. All they care about is the safety of the visitors, of the guests, of their staff in general. So they're all keeping an eye on that as well. That's it for the stage for now, and then we have the musicals, because Atsukashiyama Ibun Paris had his performance in Paris this past month, and it seems like it went really well. I've heard a lot of news for it. I'm not going to say anything about it because I think there might have been changes here and there. But one of the changes was not planned for sure, and that has to do with Kitazono Ryo, our lovely actor for Kogisenemaru, who had to have surgery on his eye because he had a detached retina, which meant he couldn't, of course, he could not wear contacts. So he could not be out on stage regardless because of surgery. But he was still able to use his voice for the performance. Whether it meant he was in the wings, he did stand up and say something at the beginning. Apparently he cried. Apparently all the fans in the audience cried, and I would have sobbed.
Oh.
Yeah. Then during the live portion, it said that he was in the sound booth to do his songs. And he was supposed to have a new duet with Mika. And Mika, instead of performing as if Kyogitsunemaru was still beside him, he sang directly towards the sound booth. And
My heart.
my heart hurts. So yeah, keep Kitazono in your thoughts and well wishes, and there's been no news yet on whether or not he'll be able to perform in August for the performances in Tokyo. But I do know that after you have an eye surgery like that, because that happened to my dad a few years ago, you can't fly for some time after you have that surgery, especially depending on the method that they use to fix it. You can't fly anywhere. You can't even be in transportation for very long because of it. It's a very interesting and intricate surgery that has to happen. But I'm certain he's doing okay and being well taken care of. And I know that he's got support from all of his friends and family, all of the Touken crew. I know they're sad to be without him currently, and as they're all back in Japan. So, yes.
So make
Best
sure you send
wishes
your
for that.
keep them in your thoughts, because that's probably is very difficult that he can't be there with them and be there for the fans, because I know it kind of hurts probably not being able to perform and seeing everyone else do so. And obviously his fans will be there to support him and be understanding to his.
Yes.
Yep.
I will say one cute thing that happened from it. As soon as they made the announcement that he wasn't going to be able to perform with them, Ryuji, Kashu's actor, he tweeted saying, "We won't be with Kogitsunemaru today, but he's in repairs. Please throw all of your help tokens at him."
Oh,
As
that's so
he's in
cute.
the infirmary, and it's precious, and yes.
I'm gonna be quite frank, like, is he going to be able to ever wear contacts again?
That's
Because I know I
a
don't.
question and a concern. I
Yeah,
don't
because
know.
I know, like you said, your dad went through that, and I don't know much about detached retinas, but the only bit I know about it is from watching High Speed, from the vice captain had
Right?
that, and he couldn't swim after the surgery, even though he was completely well. He couldn't swim anymore because he could not wear the goggles and go underwater and get that pressure, because it would just mess it up. So I'm like, can he even wear colored contacts to be Kogitsunemaru? Or,
To
in all
even
honesty,
act.
because contacts go directly onto your eye, for those of you those of you who don't understand contacts. And um, because I wear contacts on a daily basis, and your eyes can get very, very dried out depending on the contact style that you have, because you can either have like weekly ones, monthly ones, or dailies. And a lot of colored contacts are very different than regular contacts, because I also have some of those as well for doing cosplay. And depending on the circle lenses that you do have, sometimes they will be bigger than your actual iris size, and it can be constricting to your pupil, and won't allow it to dilate as much when it's in the dark, or so it can put a massive strain on your eyes, and you are really not supposed to wear them for longer than a couple of hours. So please don't wear them all day to a con like this dingus over here, who is wearing brown colored contacts all day long and has blue eyes naturally. So my sensitivity to colored contacts is a little higher, but they will start to itch and they'll get a little strainy compared to me wearing regular contacts throughout the day. So I don't care if my Kogetsunemaru does not have red eyes. As long as he is fine and is fit and well to eventually perform later on down the line. Of course, he might not be able to be there for the August performances, but if he reprises his role as Kogetsunemaru in the future for another musical, I don't care if Kogi doesn't have red eyes. As long as it's Kitazono, I will be happy. And he's still performing as Kogi. That is all that matters.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. He might not be able to for medical reasons. The doctor might be like, no. We'll never know. Or we might figure it out eventually. So we will see. But yep.
Yeah, so just keep him in your thoughts and support him in anything that he tries to do. Is this could really shock his career path in general.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Yes.
I believe that's everything on the live action news.
Except for Kashu Kiyomitsu's solo performance. The dates have been available for a while now, and ticket sales as of the release of this video are now open to the public if you have not gotten them yet. I wish you the best of luck. For me, they go on sale tomorrow. I will not, but that's a personal thing. So if you are looking to go to that, holy cow, I hope you get to, because it's going to be amazing, because it's just beautiful. Yeah.
So
he'll be performing in Hokkaido and Tokyo, Kyushu, Osaka. I think Kyushu.
So all of you Kashu Kiyomitsu fans out there, or just Yuji fans, just good luck.
Good luck. Yes.
That's all we have to say is good luck. Because there's a lot of you.
From someone who knows the struggle of getting tickets to anything. Good luck.
You're in your niche struggles.
Indeed.
All right. And we have a little bit of updated news on the Swords of Kyoto exhibit that we mentioned last month. That's going to, once again, just a reiteration, it's going to be at the Kyoto National Museum of History, September 29th through November 25th. It turns out they will not all be at this exhibition at the same time. Some swords are only available during different halves of the exhibition. So full term, Mikazuki, Nakigitsune, Goto, Akita, Gokotai, Mori, Jirotachi, Doranuki, Hasebe, Sengo, Kasen, and Hizamaru. For the first half, which is going to run from the beginning through October 28th, is Maida, Hakata, Akashi, Kenshin, Mutsunokami, Soza, and they will be replaced with Ishikirimaru, Honebami, Shinano, and Namazuo. So if you guys are in the area of Japan or within the surrounding continent of Asia, because it's a lot cheaper to fly from Asian countries. Man, I envy you. Or you're planning on being in Japan within those months, that about 2-month span, go check that out. I know Jesse's gonna probably go and check that out since you're not too terribly far from Kyoto. And I think you'd be crazy enough not to go. So.
Yeah, I definitely need to go. I just now I don't know which time to go. If I can go to both, I want to go to both. But
Jesse, smart thing. Go between the 28th of October to the 30th. So you don't have to go back to Kyoto.
But see, the thing is, I have
Unless
work.
it's work. Unless it's
That
work.
is work
'cause
days.
Darn it.
That is work days because the 28th is a Sunday and the 30th is Tuesday and the museum is closed on Monday.
Yep, that's
So,
fine.
you know,
Curses. Oh well. Have fun.
it was a nice thought, though.
Pick your poison. Which one do you not want to go? Who do you not want to see and who do you want to see?
Yeah, but I'm honestly at this point I'm kind of leaning to the second half because I really want to see Honebami and Ishikirimaru. I want to see an Odachi.
You're going to see
Like,
Jirotachi too.
I mean, yeah, but it's she's
Yeah, I would pick second half as well because a handful of the first half swords are Santos. Oh, nope. I picked first half because Kenjin's there.
of course you would pick the first half, but there's also Mutsu and Souza in the first one.
I love Mutsu.
And
Mutsu's
it's
starter.
just a very hard decision. So stay tuned and see what I decide.
You guys will be updated on all
Yeah.
of the fun sword adventures that Jessica on.
I got to see Kashu again this month.
Of course.
Of course I did. The beautiful Uchigatana in a sea of Tachis. Just saying. He's a good blade. It's a very pretty blade.
Right. I think that's mostly everything, unless you have anything else that you want to say that we might have missed.
I think that's it.
Any final messages that you probably have to pass on from Alexi or Sarah, or did you get their piece out? Or
I know Sarah always sends her love and she wishes she could be more active. I know Small is very excited to come back from Costa Rica.
Yep, she
and
comes
be
back
with us
tomorrow.
again.
So she'll be home by the time podcast
We do our
comes out.
next record.
Yep. So she will definitely be back for the next.
Yes. And Lexi is sad that she couldn't be with us too, and she sends her love as well.
All right.
Yeah.
So that is it for the podcast for this month. So just to reiterate our social media, you can follow us on Twitter at Touken Rambles. You can follow our Facebook at Touken Rambles Podcast and our Podbean at Touken Rambles Podcast. And you can also listen to this podcast anywhere that podcasts are usually posted, like on iTunes or Google Play. And we are also on YouTube on Touken Rambles Podcast as well. And if you want to talk to us a little bit more than just seeing us through social media and you want to kind of talk to us a little bit more outside of stuff or hearing us ramble and you want to ramble with us, you can join our
headcanons.
Yes. You can go to, you can join our Discord at discord.me/ToukenRambles podcast. Leave the Celeste podcast at the end, or it could just be Touken Rambles. I am blanking on the actual URL for that. But if you just go to discord.me and type in Touken Rambles, most likely show up in the search bar. So that is everything. Thank you guys so much for listening to us. Leave a comment, like, subscribe, do the thing.
Do the thing, enjoy the things.
Yep.
Join us as we fall down our Touken hole even further.
Yep. And we will talk to you guys later, probably at another watch weekend or on the Discord. All right. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Bye.